All right, welcome to the podcast. We have Script Summit winner Lyndal Simpson from her screenplay Gravedigger, which won a table read at Script Summit 2022, where we have a troupe of actors come in and actually read a scene from the script and then give feedback. Lyndal, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So walk me through the journey you've gone through with your writing with Gravedigger since your big win.
Yeah, so I entered Gravedigger into Script Summit in 2022, I believe it was. I'd entered
Okay.
other scripts before and had a great experience every time. Yeah, I entered it and it won the table read, which was great to know that it had been through a table read and had been well
Yeah.
received. It's probably the best, in a way, the best one to win because it kind of was brought to life. So I entered by Coverfly.
Okay.
And the win helped, boosted on Coverfly on their red list that they have. And it made the red list. And then I had an agent downloaded the script. She was looking for some projects for a director that she represented. She downloaded a few, and Gravedigger was one. And I don't know if she read them or he read them, but Gravedigger was the one that they liked the most. So, yeah, we signed a shopping agreement, and I think that was for 12 months. And they got enough positive reaction from that to we then signed an option.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. And things have they're kind of going quite quickly at the moment. There's a lot happening. We've got funding from various places, distribution, and even some casting happening. So we've got some cast locked in, but I can't tell you who they are.
Wow. Look at you.
So, yeah, so stuff's happening. And rewrites as well.
Gravedigger is a feature, or is it a
Yeah,
TV pilot?
it's a
Okay.
thriller suspense.
That's wonderful.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
thank you.
The table read is really something special we would do when we did our live summit. And what I love to do it is because I get to watch your scripts come to life.
Yeah.
And then we get to give you feedback, what we felt worked, what we thought didn't work. And I've had writers walk away with new perspectives on their scripts. I've had writers walk away with, feeling validated of like, okay,
Yeah.
that scene worked how we wanted it to work.
Yeah, it was a very emotional. I think maybe that's what struck a chord. It was quite an emotional script. So yeah, maybe that's what resonated with people.
We'd get the scores would come in from the judges, and then we would go through it and we say, okay, these are our top 3 scripts.
Okay.
And we want these scripts to be table reads, and then I would give them to Christy or whoever was running it that year, and then they would go through like a stage manager and they say, okay, what scene represents this script the most? And then they would get the actors and the players to come in and do that scene. And it was always so cool to sit down and almost watch like the heart of the script play out in front of you. And it's just you're making memories for people and you're
Yeah.
building connections. So do you remember, or can you give me a little bit about Gravedigger so that people can kind of get a feel of the script?
Yeah. So it's a contained thriller suspense set during the Second World War. And basically, it follows a Jewish family who, it's the last year of the war. Originally, it wasn't, but now it is. The last year of the war, and the family are already in hiding from the Nazis when they're betrayed, and they have to flee from Austria into Italy. And they're in the South Tyrol region, which is a very mountainous, forested region. And they come across an isolated cemetery and they seek shelter there with the gravedigger caretaker who hides them in a mausoleum.
Wow.
And basically, they had no alternative. They were desperate and they didn't know this person, but he offered them help. So they took it. And it turns out that he is quite a mentally unstable
Oh, no.
person. So it's kind of an out of the frying pan into the fire
I love it.
situation. So yeah, but it has changed. The initial concept is the same, but it has changed quite a lot from the initial script, which was probably more of a Spielberg-esque budget, and now it's It's a little bit more realistic. So, but it still works.
But that is to be expected. Once you
Yeah,
start bringing in other
yeah,
people onto a project, you're going to have everybody is going to have their say, and then producers are going to want
yeah.
to slash budget, and they might want to change, any kind of little scenes, add characters, combine
Mhm.
characters, like all of that stuff is going to happen. So you have to be ready for it. Sometimes that can be overwhelming.
Yeah, it can be. Yes. But I think because, when you write a spec, you kind of write to please yourself and
Yeah.
you throw it all in there. But once it comes to people who actually have to work out a budget, some of it just isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, at first I was like, oh no, I don't want to get rid of that. But it works really well as it is. It's now just very contained. It's all basically set within the cemetery and maybe like the surrounding forest, and that's it. And it works very well, I think. I think it just adds to the atmosphere. So I love it as it is now.
I mean, that's mature writer. I mean, there's writers out there that are just not ready
Mm.
for notes yet from producers, and they want to protect their baby at all costs,
Yeah,
and they can lose any chance they had of getting that thing made because of
yeah.
it. So,
It's just not
you
realistic.
embrace the notes, right?
And as I said, there were times when I thought, oh no, but you have to have your head in a realistic space. You have to deal with the budget that you've got, and you can generally work around everything, really. Um, and so, I'm very happy with it and excited. It should hopefully go into production later this year.
Ah, that's amazing.
So,
Did you enjoy the challenge though when they came to you with notes and they were like, "Hey, we need to slash all of this or rework all of this"? Because I love the challenge of it. Like
mm,
when a director comes to me and says, "I need to cut out such and such location," and then my mind kind of ignites, and I go, "Okay, what can I do?" Did you have that kind of feeling, or did you kind of have to prepare yourself?
I think I had to mentally absorb the impact first.
Okay,
And I'm kind of someone who, when I don't know what to do, I think that I just need a little bit of time to think.
sure.
But I do think sometimes you can be overwhelmed by the scope of something that you have to work on. But the best thing you can do is just do something, just start.
I agree.
And I mean, it's always worked out. Like, I've always managed to get to the finish line. And
That's
there's been a
awesome.
few, there's been a few different rewrites, and there might be another one because, one of the actors that they've signed, I think they want him to have more of a role. So I might have to change it again, but I think that's just how it goes.
That's
So
it. I mean, that's a good thing. They're that invested in it that they want to bring in a bigger actor and give a bigger part. That's amazing.
yeah, but yeah, it can be overwhelming, but you do have to embrace it. I do think there's a point where you cross from being overwhelmed to being excited. It's just getting your head around, um, what it is you need to do.
Well, you are hitting that point in your career where so many people want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can get to the point where you're like, yes, I am overwhelmed, but at the same time, I'm lucky to be here.
Yeah.
I need to appreciate this. I need to take advantage of this every way I can. One thing I found when I'm overwhelmed on a project is I just practice small victories. I
Mm-hmm.
just go, okay, I've got to rewrite 90 pages. That sounds way overwhelming, but you know what I can do today? Today I can do 3.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I'll do 4 more. And by the time you know it, you're through the whole script and it's fixed. So
Yeah.
I think little small victories will lead you through the battle to the other side.
Yeah, definitely. I generally have like a to-do list, and if I'm feeling overwhelmed, which I often are at the beginning, you choose the easy one. Just do the easy one first.
Yeah,
And also just rereading
just the
this.
title page.
Yeah, anything. Anything that makes you think you've done something,
I
because
love
it's
it.
all a mental game, isn't it? You're
Yeah, it
fighting
is.
your
It
own
is.
brain. So yeah, that it sounds kind of cliched, but you do just have to do something. Just get in there. Even if you read over what you've already written, just reacquaint yourself with the script can really help.
I used to bribe myself when I was like so overwhelmed that I was paralyzed. I would go to Starbucks and get a chai latte and a cheese Danish, and I would not allow myself to eat it until I had the script open in front of me. And then
Yeah.
I would be off to the races, you know. I mean, you have to do whatever trick works until my blood sugar was like, you know, this isn't a long-term solution. You need to grow up, buddy. But yeah, I mean, you just got to sit down and do it because you're at the place that you've been working so hard for. Why give up on it now and be paralyzed? Right now is the time to be like, okay, we are a professional now. Now
Yeah.
it's time to be a professional. You know, we're not playing around anymore. And I think it's admirable that you're taking this challenge on and you're getting to the point where you're even excited about it.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. It's good to see. Also, getting a lot of really good feedback from the
Oh yeah,
yeah, from the just like the people that are involved. It's sometimes you think, eh, wow, so many people are actually involved in this project. It kind of does boost you to think that you've written something that so many people are going to work on, and so it does.
wait, wait until you get on set.
Yeah, I hope so.
You're gonna go on set, right?
Well, I hope so because it's going to be filmed in Italy, so that would be
And
very
where are
nice.
you at? New
I'm in
Zealand?
Australia, but
You're in Australia. All
yeah,
right.
but
So
that's
can we
fine.
get some budget flights to Italy? You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think that's in the budget, unfortunately. But
ah,
I've been to Italy a couple of times, and I'm sure I can go again. It would be great.
I'm not telling you you have to go, but if it is within your means
Mm,
to be able to go and you've got a set invite, I would absolutely recommend it. I've been on set a few times and just to watch, not just watch an actor say your words, because that's amazing, right?
mm,
To watch it, but to watch a director interpret your scene that you structured, the theme of the scene, and the way that the actors are performing it, to watch that dance
yeah,
is it will change the way you write
okay,
because you'll start realizing I don't have to be as wordy. I can put in a pause and let the actor emote that line instead of
yeah,
saying it. I mean, it just changes your whole perspective on things.
yeah. I think it would be. I think it would be mind blowing to just see it all and think this is all because I had an idea in my head,
I
basically.
know. I know. You created this thing from nothing. And now people are getting paid to say the words that you wrote.
Yeah, yeah.
And hopefully you make some relationships
Hmm.
and you start getting some other stuff out there with
Yep,
these relationships from this movie.
yep. So yeah, no, I've got another project that's also um, under option and things are happening. That's here in Australia. So I've got a couple of things happening. So so yeah, I'm getting there.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm gonna have to have you come back on the show when you start getting more stuff out there and this thing starts
Okay.
shooting and really talking about your journey. But do you have any advice for any writers out there, anybody submitting to Script Summit, anybody looking to be at the place that you're at now?
I think the most important thing for me is when I write, I think you want to make people feel emotion is
Mm-hmm.
the most important thing. So I think you should always tell the story that you want to tell, but focus on what the emotional impact is that you want, and always have that in the back of your mind. So that's the biggest thing for me. If you
I
want,
love it.
that's what makes me love a movie, how it makes you
Yeah,
feel, and especially when you're probably going to be writing something that's more of a low budget movie. So you have to focus on the substance of it a bit more and the human story. Yeah, that's probably it. And I do think it's important to write
it's
to please
great.
yourself.
I mean, it's like, you know, when you've written a script and you sit back and you look at, if you go scene by scene, you know, is this scene doing more than providing information and pushing the story
Yeah,
forward? Is this scene giving some kind of emotional turmoil or release or impact? Is it making the audience feel something? And
yeah,
if you can say yes and the feeling isn't boredom, then
yeah. Yeah,
then
and
you're
I
on the
love
right path. That's a
atmosphere
great
too.
note.
I love to create a really good atmosphere. I think that's something that I really like to build the right feeling, whether it's a creepy feeling or a
That's
fear,
awesome.
or so yeah, I love that. I think you don't have to be too wordy to do it, but
Yeah.
it's okay to use a few words to kind of set the scene and get the right atmosphere across. Especially, I think, when you're writing a spec script, which you're actually trying to, you want someone to love it. So
Yeah.
you really do want them to feel stuff, because that's what makes people fall in love with your writing. So I think it's okay. I know some people think it should be just like a real cold blueprint, but I don't feel like a spec script should be like that, because you really want to entice them.
Entice them.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah. So, yeah, emotion and atmosphere are my kind of two big things I think you should really focus on with a story.
I love a good atmospheric thriller. I mean, I just
Yeah.
watched Wolfman, and that is an atmospheric, suspenseful horror film,
Hmm.
and you feel it, and if you're able to write that and put that into a script, and a director can read it, and their mind is set on fire, and they're visually putting your story together, then you are making it happen.
Yeah.
Lyndal, thank you so much for coming on the show. Really appreciate it. I can't wait to hear more good things coming out of you and Gravedigger.
Thank you so much for having me.